Hey folks, I was right in the middle of washing up and I heard a commotion out here in the yard. I don't know, something went by. I do know that I'm pretty sure someone dropped off a pair of turkeys the other day, domestic turkeys, and they were in the yard here for a little bit and then they moseyed on away. So, not sure. Um, that's a little irresponsible, I think, just to drop turkeys way up at the pit, right? Knowing that domesticated, they will come down here where there's food and other birds, right? So, I'm not sure where they are. They hung around here for a little bit the other day, and then they went out in the woods. There's enough predators around, so gotta be more responsible than that, right? So, so that's why I got a towel head. I'm a towel head right now, and I gotta go in and finish washing up. I'm trying to get the birds in. All but one wants to go in right now, but I think if I get behind him and walk slowly, he'll go in. So I guess that's the video a little bit earlier. Mama is back on her nest. I'm not really sure if any of those 6 eggs still in the nest will hatch or not, but she seems to think so. I know she's been off the nest more because now her responsibility is taking care of the ones that have hatched. And a lot of times what will happen, folks, is, and I've had young Muscovies especially do this, they will hatch out 2 or 3, like say there was 12 eggs in the... I've had young Muscovies that will abandon unhatched eggs while they were still hatching. Let's say there were 12, she was sitting on 12 eggs, and 4 or 5 will hatch, and then she will go and take care of those 4 or 5 and leave the others not hatching, right? Because they will get cold, they need warmth. Sometimes if I'm home and around and I see that happening, that I will take those hatching eggs and put them under something else. I put them under chickens before, and they have hatched them. Now, ducks will hatch out chicken eggs. They'll hatch out turkey eggs. They'll hatch out guinea fowl eggs. They'll hatch out goose eggs. But there's a different time frame for a lot of that. Like chickens are 21 days, right? So you can't put a chicken egg and a duck egg in the same nest at the same time because, like I said, the chicken will hatch in about 21 days and the duck 28 to 35, right? So if you're going to do that, have the chicken sit on the duck egg for about a week or so, and then put the fertilized chicken egg in there. That way they'll hatch out the same time. But there is a moisture content that you have to pay attention to as well, because a waterfowl, their eggs need a little bit more moisture than a chicken egg does, or any non-waterfowl bird like a guinea fowl, right? So a lot of times what will happen is the duck or the goose will get off her nest. She'll cover the nest with hay to insulate that, to keep them fairly warm, and by nature to disguise the nest, right? And then she'll go for a swim. She'll eat, she'll get something to drink, and then she'll dry off just a little bit and then go back on her nest, uncover the eggs, and nestle back because they need that moisture. Unlike a chicken egg that doesn't need as much moisture as a duck egg, like that. So, but if a goose hatches out a duck egg or a bunch of duck eggs, those ducks, when they hatch, will consider mom a that goose. But if you have other ducks that have hatched and with their mamas, and then you've got this goose with a bunch of ducks, it won't take long, folks, before the ducks realize that no, those ducks over there are more my family than this great big goose is, and they will. They'll leave the goose and they'll go with another mama and her ducklings. What will the goose do? The goose will be the protector and also hang around, but the ducks really do know, at least in my experience, the ducks really do know that the goose isn't its biological mother, that the duck is, and eventually they'll all mingle together. Now, if you have a bunch of ducks hatching under different duck mamas, they will come together as a flock, and the mothers will take care of all the babies, and it doesn't matter, okay, that female duck hatched me out, so I'm just going to stick with her. No, they're all mothers and they're all children, and they turn into one big flock, not several small flocks. So, Off-Grid World, Lori at Off-Grid World. The dynamics in geese and ducks are very fascinating. I agree with that. A lot of times, us humans are raised different than ducks and geese, right? So, us humans only know how we were raised. The ducks go on instinct, the geese go on instinct. They really do know what to do. And like that surrogate mother, that other female goose, she played her role. She came in, she while the mama was still hatching out the other eggs, she came in and took over and made sure they were safe, made sure that they were kept warm. And when the mama goose that's sitting on the eggs is going off and on her nest, not sure if she wants to continue sitting on the eggs or leaving the eggs. That's why I think she's done hatching their eggs, because that other female goose, that I call it the surrogate goose, has stepped back. So that's why I think she's done hatching. But the mama is being a good mama and wants to make sure that no other eggs are going to hatch. Now, when they're sitting on eggs, it's very typical for a mama goose. Somehow they know, just like all your birds, somehow they know when an egg isn't either going to hatch or the baby died in the egg. Somehow they know when an egg is not going to hatch, or if there's something wrong with that baby bird, they will abandon it. Chickens are very famous for killing a bird that is not perfect. Put it that way, not perfect. They will kill their chick, and a lot of times they will eat it. That is nature. That is nature. It seems really cruel to us humans, but that's nature. So it's very cold out. It's misting. I've got to go finish washing up, and I'm going to close the door on the outside run. It's getting dark. I've got a very long weekend coming up, and you all be good. Bye.